Hello everyone, today I am coming at you with a plan with me in my Aura Estelle A5 wide cloud. I have my plans all written down here. I am using the Lullaby kit. It is exclusive art to my shop, and I wanted to do art for the birth of my third baby, Lila. So this is the birth week spread. I initially had planned on using it was like Merry and Bright for Nick and Kirsten's birthday. That was this week, but I unexpectedly went into labor. I thought I was going to have the baby next week because I was actually scheduled for induction on Sunday. So I figured I would have her the following Monday, but we'll get into the story in a little bit. But I just wanted to go over the different items that I'm using. I am using I don't remember what it's called, it's like the baby foil kit from Crest Press. I am using some of the rainbow foiled underlays from Plana Hannah. I'm using them every other day. I realized I kind of like messed up on the placement of them, and I recently binge watched a lot of Hannah's old videos and like watched her put down like where she like puts down the boxes whenever she like mixes them, and I think I got it down to a science. I think that I just like never paid attention prior. I usually just like listen to Plan With Me's, but I was actually like watching and I was like, oh, that's how you do it so you don't get any next to each other, because before I was just doing it in a grid, but I realized that how she does it, I don't know if she does it intentionally or not, but she puts like one of each on every day, and I didn't do it that way. So I'm gonna do that. I do it in my next spread, which is gingerbread. I use her underlays, the lights ones and then the plaid ones, and mix them, and I think I got it down better. But I think in that one I like didn't have enough of one. I don't know, because I used an extender, but I'm getting there. I'm learning. It's a learning curve. So yeah, I'm using gold foil. I did a poll on Instagram and the gold was the winner. And kind of by the time that I had like put up the poll and like thought about it more, I was like, yeah, gold kind of makes the most sense. So that's everything I'm using. I think it turned out lovely. I would have also probably used silver with this, or matte bronze. I think would be really pretty with it, or even rose would be nice as like a different pop. But I feel like I wanted to use a core foil, so that nicks out matte bronze, which I probably would have used if I had like all kinds of stuff like foiled, because I wanted to use, some foiled boxes, and I wanted to use like foiled scripts that I had made for her, and I wanted to use Plana Hannah underlays, and I wanted to use this foil bundle, and none of them came in matte bronze. So gold was the way. Plus also I'm a gold girl, so it kind of works out. But I did ask for questions on Instagram as far as what questions you had for this plan with me, because I wanted to make it a little bit longer because I had stories to tell. So basically I'm going to answer the questions. All of these questions were asked multiple times, so I figured I would just go through these couple since they were asked the most, and then during the like plan with me, I'll just go over like the plans of the weekend, not go like super into detail about what happened. So the first question that I'll go over was, how was labor? And labor was not as fast as Theo's, surprisingly, because Theo was induced, but he came out so fast. Like, well, actually, I don't remember. Well, he like the pushing, I only like pushed like 3 times with Theo, but I pushed for like an hour with Lila, which is weird because Theo was bigger. So Bennett and Lila were about like 7.5 pounds, and then TT was like 8.5 pounds, but Theo came out the fastest out of all of them, and with like the most, like no pushing basically required at all. Whereas Bennett, I pushed for like 2.5, almost 3 hours, and then Lila, I pushed for like 45 minutes to an hour. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this might be TMI, but I feel like I would have gotten Lila out much faster if I wasn't really scared about pooping. So with my other labors, I was induced, and I didn't eat really like prior. I ate like at dinner time, and then I got induced, and then I didn't give birth until later, but I ate dinner really late, and I just had this irrational fear about pooping, and I like was not pushing correctly. Like, I know how to push, I've done it 3 times, and I just was like scared. So I think that that's why it took me longer, is because I was terrified. And the nurse, I think, was getting really annoyed with me because I told her that was my fear, and she was like, we don't care if you do, like, we'd rather just get the baby out. And I was like, I know, but like I was just being a little like pain in the butt. But as far as labor goes, this was actually my only labor that wasn't induced. So I was planning on being induced on Sunday, and I was actually supposed to be induced earlier this week, but they had to move me. And I had my doctor's appointment on Friday, and she said I think I was at a like 2 or 3, I don't remember, centimeters dilated. And she's like, okay, I'm going to do a mini sweep. And I was like, all right, whatever. That's probably not going to do anything. I'm just like, I was so sick of being pregnant at this point. I was just like, I don't care. I was like so irritated with everything all the time. I don't like being pregnant. I would much rather do the newborn phase where they don't sleep and they like need constant attention. And there's a lot of things I'd rather do than be pregnant, because it's just like, for me, especially with this one, it was a lot. And it was like, I was always like feeling like poop and tired, and I didn't sleep well. But yeah, so she was like, I'm gonna do a mini sweep. I was like, all right, whatever. And she did one, and then I went home and I was like bleeding a little and cramping a little, but I was like, oh, she was just up in there. So I just probably like, that's just probably like the side effects of like being agitated, you know what I'm saying? Like down there. And then I remember texting Kirsten and I was like, yeah, like I have like cramps, and I actually like filmed some voiceovers. So there was 2 videos where I was like kind of timing the cramp contractions, because I was like, is this contractions? I don't know, because whenever I was induced, it basically comes out like a bat out of hell, and it's like pain, like super hardcore, like from the start. So I don't know like what it feels like. So I'm like, I don't know. Kirsten's like, that's probably labor. You're going to go into labor. And I'm like, nah, probably not, because like, that's just my luck. I'm going to definitely last till Sunday, because that's the way it's going to go. So that was like in the morning. And then like all day I was just kind of like laying in bed, and I was like, I don't feel good. I did do my voiceovers, and I like got my listings ready, because I was just like, I don't know. I was like in like, maybe this is it. So I got all my listings done for the next week, like prepped. Normally I don't do that till Tuesday. I was going to do it on Saturday, but I was like, I'm going to do it today. And then I was like, I'm going to film these voiceovers because I want to make sure I have my videos up for the week. You know, I have priorities. It's work, and making sure it's done. I hung out with the boys a little bit, and I was just like, I don't know, I was just not in the mood. So then later on at night, I was just like, I couldn't sleep. We ate dinner really, really late, and around like 11:30, both Nick and I aren't sleeping yet. Normally we go to bed at like 10. 11:30, I'm like laying in bed, like, all right, let's go to bed. So I like laid down, and I like turned over, and I was laying there for maybe like 5 minutes, and I felt this weird, like, not like a pop, like mini cramp kind of situation. And then I like got up and like held myself all together and like walked to the bathroom, and then my water broke. And I wasn't sure my water broke initially. I feel like in the movies, like previously my waters have all broken after I was induced. But this, like, they usually, like, it's like this big puddle of water, but I swear it's probably a quarter cup. A quarter cup came out, and that was it. I was like, am I peeing? Like, honestly, like, it wouldn't surprise me if I'm peeing and I can't feel it. Like, that's not, like, alarming to me at all. And I was like, Nick, can you look? Like, where is this coming from? Like, it's just, like, a slow drip. And then as soon as that happened, my contractions started at, like, 2.5 to 3 minutes. Every 2.5, 3 minutes, and they were lasting like about a minute, just like all of a sudden, and it was like 100% like contractions. And for me, contractions felt like whenever you have your period and you like have those like period cramps where like you kind of have to poop, so it's like period poop cramps. That is what labor contractions felt like to me, where it's not like regular cramps, it's like cramps a little bit more elevated, but they still at no point were like how induction cramps were to me. I feel like induction cramps were probably at least like 5 to 10 times more painful. Obviously, probably because they're like medicated cramps. They're not like natural, like your body's being forced into it. So yeah, that was basically how it happened. And then we called my in-laws. My in-laws came over. They were like, I had told them earlier in the day to make sure their bag was packed because I thought something was weird. And then they came over within like 10 minutes. Thank goodness they live like close. And then we drove to the hospital. I got into probably the room at like 1:30. And then I don't even remember honestly when I had her. I'm honestly the worst at remembering like the height and the weight and the time and all that stuff, but I always have it like written down on my phone because like, case I need to know for anything, in case, I feel like it's like whenever you want to find out their rising and whatever zodiac things. Let me see if I can find out that information, because I know that was another thing that was questioned, was like how big she was and stuff. So let us see. So 6:26 a.m. and 20 inches long and 7 pounds 14 ounces. So she was actually a little bit bigger than Bennett, but not by much. But definitely smaller than Theo. So that was how my labors was. And then the other questions were like labors versus other labors, which I answered. And induction versus natural, or going in by yourself. And I definitely liked, well, I think they both have pros and cons. The induction's nice because you know exactly when you're going unless you go earlier. But I do think that the pain was way worse. So that was not my favorite. But I kind of like that I did have the experience once of like going without being induced. And I do think it was like way less painful. So there's that, but I also don't like surprises and I like planning things. So it kind of is like, they both have their pros and cons, but as far as like, if I had to pick one again, I wouldn't be induced unless I had to, and I would just go in. But I also, like, for this one, I didn't want to be too close to Christmas. That was like my one thing. I was like, I don't want a Christmas baby. I have like siblings that, I think my sister's born on Christmas, and then somebody I know is born on Christmas Eve, but I don't remember who. And then Nick and Kirsten are born like so close to Christmas, and Lila now, that I'm just like, y'all. But the next question, kind of going out of like the labor experience. And also the other question was how long we stayed in the hospital. We stayed in for 24 hours. But we went back to the hospital twice, but we'll get into that next week and the next week, which I just feel like were like very stressful weeks. It was just very stressful and very like emotionally draining. And yeah, I'm just like so glad, thank goodness, knock on all the wood, that is over, because that was a lot. But she's good, she's healthy, she's happy, we're good. So then other questions I got asked a lot were, why the name Lila? And there's really no reason why. I just really like the name. I never really had a girl name picked out. I always had a boy name ready, because even with this one, I was like, it's gonna be a boy. I'm hyped for it to be a boy. Nick was like team girl. Honestly, I just don't really care. Because you never know. So I was like, I had a boy name picked out. I did not have a girl name picked out, but I always had girl names like on the back burner, but never as strong as like my boy names. Like I was like, Bennett is the first one. But basically all my life, prior to conceiving Bennett, I thought my first child's name was going to be Edison. Like since I was like 15, I was like, I love the name Edison. Again, never really had a girl name picked out. I loved the name Edison, but now I know an Edison, so I just feel like it's kind of weird, but also he's not like that close. It's my friend's husband, that it would have been weird to name him Edison. But yeah, I don't know. Then I just saw the name Bennett and I was like, I really like that name. So I picked Bennett, never had a girl name picked. Theo, same thing, never had a girl name picked. And I think I had Edison still on the back burner because I was like, it wouldn't be weird. And for Theo, the second name that I was really contemplating was William. Again, I didn't have a girl name picked out. I was like, why do I need one? And then for this one, I had the name Edison still on the list. I have my list, like I have a short list. It only has 7 names on it, or 8 names. Well, yeah, 8 names. William, Edison, but the name that whenever I didn't know the sex of the baby, that I was like calling the baby this name, and I was like, this is the name that it's going to be whenever it's a boy, is Winston. This baby would have been named Winston, and I love the name Winston. I think the only place I've ever heard it is from New Girl, and I just love the name Winston. I just think it would also go along with like the boys' names of being kind of like proper, like sweet names. I don't know. I really liked it together, and I was like pretty certain this was baby Winston inside me. But as far as girl names go, whenever I found out it was a girl, I went and made a list of names that I liked, and I'll go from like least to most like consideration. So I really like the name Constance, and then I like the name Jane. Those were like kind of like more middle name possibilities, or like names that I liked but wasn't like super in love with. And then the 3 names that I was very much debating, besides Lila, were all L names. I have like a thing for L names for girls. I don't know where it came from, but all the names I liked basically that were in consideration were L names. And it was Lily, which I would have did Lili. And then I also liked Lydia, mostly not from like Beetlejuice, but from Pride and Prejudice. And then I also really liked Lilith. So those are my like top names. All of them L names, and then Lila obviously was like the top name. I don't know where I like heard Lila from, but I really liked the name Lila, and I like L and Y together. So all of those names were kind of like there, or L and I together. And then the middle name, I wanted something Christmas related because Nick's name is Nicholas because he was supposed to be born closer to Christmas. And I thought that that would be cute. I personally don't like my middle name to pass it on. It was my mom's middle name. It's my middle name. My middle name is Marie. I think, no offense to anybody whose middle name is Marie, I'm sure you're on the same page. It's pretty basic. Like, it's not, I mean, Joy isn't like the most revolutionary middle name. Neither are the rest of my kids, but I just think Marie, I'm just like over it. I don't like it for myself. I don't want to pass it on. So, and then I did family names for the boys, but the only like female name that I would consider would be Nick's mom, and Nick's mom's name is Michelle, which I like Michelle, but I didn't like Lila Michelle together. And then her middle name's Susan, and she said absolutely no. And I was like, yeah, it wouldn't happen either. So I wanted to do a Christmas name because I kind of thought that that was like an ode to like Nick and his name being like Christmassy, being born in December, Christmas baby. And I went through a bunch of different names, and I really liked Joy because also I thought it was cute because Joy is also a Pixar character and like Disney. So it's like a Pixar character and also Christmassy. So that's how I came up with Lila Joy. And I also love Y's in girls' names. I don't know what it is. So having two Y's in there was a selling point. So that is the name explanation and what other names I would have used. And then the other two questions that I got a lot is who do you think she looks like? So Bennett is a spitting image of Nick, and then Theo is a spitting image of me. And then I think Lila, like Nick's mom swears she looks like Bennett, but I really don't see it because we looked up pictures of Theo around her age, and they're like twins. Besides the fact that Theo was a lot chunkier, I think they look identical. So I think she's going to look like me, possibly with like some like Nick traits mixed in. But I also think that, I think Theo looks literally just like me and like my brothers. But I think Bennett has like parts of his face that do kind of look like me the older he gets. So I think she's going to look like me with like some parts of Nick, just based on what we're seeing so far. But honestly, like, she's just so cute, and I just like love her so much. And I don't know, she's just like a little princess, and I'm just like, she's my best friend right now. We're just like hanging out. She's the only one that doesn't have like a massive attitude problem right now. The terrible twos and the 4-year-old who thinks he knows everything are just like, I'm like, y'all, I need a break. I've been pregnant, and me and Lila, we best friends. And then that leads into how do the boys like her, and they love her. They are obsessed with her. Bennett is like really good with her because he's 4. And Theo is 2. I always think he's 2. He's 1.5. And it's hard because they're 2 under 2, and he doesn't understand his strength, basically, as far as he's very rough and tough. Bennett's a very sweet boy, very gentle. Theo is just like a powerhouse linebacker, plows through everything. But I can say, like, it's been 1 month. She's 1 month old, and he definitely has learned in that month how to be a lot more gentle, and he's so sweet. He's obsessed with her. He's just like always like sister, 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 baby, 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 sister, sister, sister. So they love her. I do think that he's a little bit, he's been acting out a little bit. Bennett doesn't really, this is how he normally is. But I think Theo might be acting out a little bit, like subconsciously, but as far as like how he acts towards her, he loves her, and it's so sweet seeing them together. And I think that they're just so cute all together. I just want to squeeze them all. But that is all of the questions that I'm going to answer. If you have any other questions, let me know down below. There was a lot, but those were the ones that were asked like multiple times. So I figured this is already getting long. So let's just go into the day by day. Okay, so first things first is I did put in the sidebar this sticker from Adorably Amy Designs that is on her like baby bucket list. It's really cute. I didn't fill it out yet because like I said earlier in the video, I don't remember any of it. So I had to like pull it up on my phone and I'll fill it out later. And then I did put in 3 weeks till Christmas. I am thinking about rejudging my sidebar in my new planner and like for January, lightly. And I'm like trying to think of things to mark because I never know. So yeah, because I can't do Christmas, can't do pregnancy, and those last me through the year. I was actually looking through my planner, and I have about 6 months where there's a box or 2 boxes that are empty, and I'm like, I gotta go back and fill things out. I'm just gonna do like reverse countdowns on all of them, or just put in like tired or something. I don't know. But yeah. Well, I think it's actually like pre-pregnancy, so there's probably like 4 months that there's like nothing at all. So we're gonna have to figure that out later, or soon. I don't know. I'm thinking about doing like a flip through. I don't know. We'll see. But on Monday, I put in that. Oh wait, I have the wrong plans in front of me. Hold on. The first thing on my list was Cuddle Lila, and I was like, yeah, I didn't do that this week. Well, I didn't do that on Monday. So first things first on my list is I went to Target. I don't remember what I went for, but probably just like groceries or something. But I think this is actually the last time that I went to Target. Oh no, I went to Target on Friday. But I haven't went to Target or anywhere besides like doctors and work and like the hospital in the past month. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of curbside and I've been doing a lot of online shopping because whenever I'm up 3-4 times in the middle of the night, that's what keeps me awake. And yeah, it's a problem. But also I'm finding some pretty cool stuff. So I don't know. I bought like a mini fridge and these like gel eye masks that I could put in the mini fridge. And then I like put those on like after I like take care of her and I go to sleep. And because my eyes like burn all night. I don't know. I think I might also have dry eyes. So I might need to get some like eye drops or something. But like that's one thing that I bought. I bought a mini fridge, which I'm surprised how cheap mini fridges are. But I think I'm also going to use it for my skincare afterwards because I like the idea of like cold skincare. So yeah, weird stuff. And I also got addicted to Muddy Buddies. Like I've been through bags and bags of Muddy Buddies and 7-Up. That's been my life recently. So, yeah, and McDonald's. I feel like whenever I'm sad, I eat McDonald's. It's been like a thing. I think it's like a nostalgia comfort food. It's not the healthiest, but honestly, like if I'm sad, this has been a roller coaster of a couple weeks, I eat McDonald's. Like, it's just something that I need. And Nick will be like, oh, yeah, Andrea's crying. Hey, do you want McDonald's? And I'm like, yes, please. Anyways, dropped off packages this day. And I tried on the rainbow boxes to use stickers and leave, like, more space so that you could see the rainbows, which I think looks so cute with this spread. And then I put in that I cuddled Nick all day. The boys were at the in-laws. They love going over there. I think it's just they have like a different set of toys over there and it's just like new stuff to do because basically we're just home and outside all of the time. So they went over there and Nick and I just kind of like hung out because we knew this was the last week before the craziness happens. Then for lunch we got this place called Greens in the Garden, which is like a healthy food kind of place. It's so good. Their noodles were amazing. It was like sweet potato. They're like kind of clear noodles. And I had like a wrap that was just like filled with veggies. Had chicken in it too. Honestly, I would have just preferred it with just the vegetables. It was really good. And then I made brownies and watched Gossip Girl. On Tuesday for breakfast, we had Burger King and Starbucks, and I felt really sick this day. I felt sick and tired most of my pregnancy, but I feel like the first trimester and then the tail end of the third, it really ramped up. Also, I mentioned before that I drink a chai every day. I still have been because I'm just super tired. It's like the only thing that gets me my go-go for the day. They made me feel sick my entire pregnancy, like so sick, but I still drank them because I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't do what's best for me. And literally after I gave birth, I had a chai. I didn't have one the next day. We got one, but it was terrible. So I was like, I'm not drinking this. I got one later, like I think the next day then, and I didn't feel sick. So it was a pregnancy thing, and I'm happy because I love my chais. They're just so good. Eventually we'll give them up, but like not until I'm not tired anymore. So then I showered with the boys this day. It's like an activity basically. I like set them up in my shower and I like give them those like spray soaps and they're entertained for hours. Not actual hours, but for a while they just love like spraying the soap on the wall and like rubbing it everywhere and like drawing pictures with it. So there was that, and then we cuddled in bed for a while after they took a shower, and I think we like probably watched a movie, and like one of them probably played on a Switch, and we just chilled. And then for dinner I had Applebee's. I had the random craving for Applebee's, like a burger and their fries, and their ranch is actually surprisingly really good. So that is what I had for dinner, and then I just laid in bed because I was le pooped. On Wednesday it was Kirsten's birthday. Was it Kirsten's birthday? I feel like I don't even honestly know anymore what's going on. I feel like it's Thursday, but is it Wednesday? Let's see. Wouldn't be the first time I messed up a birthday. No. Okay, so Kirsten's birthday, and then I just cuddled on the couch, and then we went and played outside because it was really nice out. Oh, for Kirsten's birthday, I used the That Beast cake sticker, and I thought she'd really appreciate that because it's really funny. And I thought it was probably like one of the cutest ways that I marked a birthday in a really long time. Usually they just get like a cake sticker or somebody blowing out cakes. No, Kirsten got That Bee cake, and I love it. Then we went outside and cleaned up the house a little bit, and then I don't think I put it in, but I did take a bath, and I watched Riverdale and Single All the Way, but I wanted to mark Single All the Way. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called on Netflix. It was like, it reminded me of like what's it called? A Hallmark movie where it was just like so cheesy. I think that what was the other one I watched this year that was on Netflix was better, as in like a little less cheesy. This one was like hecka cheesy. I don't remember the other one I even watched was called either though. I don't remember anything anymore. But yeah, I wanted to mark that in a movie marquee, so I had to like cut some things out. So I cut out the bath in Riverdale, but I watched those and took a bath too. And I miss taking baths. Kane sent me like a bunch of Lush stuff for Christmas, and it's all just been taunting me. And I'm just like, I just want to take a bath. It's gonna be so nice. I'm like so ready to take a bath, and like hopefully like this week maybe, possibly. I have a doctor's appointment this week, so we'll see. Then on Thursday, we had the cleaners come. So those days we go to my in-laws, and my father-in-law makes us breakfast, which is like, I'm all for because I just like food. He made French toast this day, which is actually really good. He made French toast in the past, and I feel like it was just like subpar, but this one was like excellent, and now I request French toast every single time that we go over for breakfast. And he loves that because he makes it outside on his grill, and he like makes everything outside on his grill. It doesn't matter if it's like 22 degrees. He's like a flat top grill. He's outside on his grill. 22 degrees doesn't matter. This man loves his grill. But yeah, French toast, so good. And then this day I also cut Nick's hair because it was getting unruly. And I also had a feeling, well, I mean, we were giving birth on Monday, like worst case or like farthest case scenario, I guess. So I was like, you need to get your haircut. It's looking rough. You're looking a little wild. So I cut his hair, and then I put in that I did toe surgery. So basically this is like TMI, whatever, gross. I mean, your hair. So Nick has this like ingrown toenail, and he always is complaining about it. And he went to is it a podiatrist? Like a foot doctor for it. And it just keeps growing back ingrown. And basically he said that what they do for it is like so painful and like excessive for what needs to be done that he just won't go again. So normally he like takes care of it himself. It's a thing. I don't know. But this day I took care of it, and he said I did a really, really good job. So now I have like a new thing that I do is like take care of Nick's ingrown toenail. So I did toe surgery this day, and I marked it in my planner. And then I also watched Just Like That, which this was the first episode. Bawled my eyes out like the tail end of the first episode, and then the whole second episode, especially the flowers thing, killed me. I know like it's very like either people love the show or hate the show, but whenever I watch something that's like a reboot, like Gossip Girl, I know it's not going to be like good or as good as it was. And then also, if you really think about it, it never was like a masterpiece, like phenomenal, like amazing. It just was like it's nostalgic and like it's like an easy, nice, light watch. I do think it's like there's like lots of cringy parts in the new one, but I'm taking it for what it is. I'm watching it, I'm enjoying it, I'm cringing, but like same with Gossip Girl. Like it's not my favorite thing in the whole entire world. I'm basically out of things to watch. So here I am, and I was very emotional for the first 2 episodes. So if you know, you know. I feel like it's been spoiled a million times, but I won't spoil it in case you are still planning on watching it and have dodged the spoilers on the internet. On Friday, we went on a Target run, and I had my doctor's appointment this day, like I talked about earlier in this video. She checked me. I was like 2 or 3, 2.5, somewhere in there. I don't know, centimeters dilated, which is more dilated than I have ever been with the boys. The boys, I was only ever like a 1. I think it was a 1 with Theo, like 2 days again beforehand, or maybe even not. I don't know. I could have never been dilated. I don't remember. But I was a 2. She did the mini sweep, and then it ensued. But after the doctor's appointment, I had to go get a COVID test, which is my 3rd COVID test. And this one was the one where, and I thought Nick was going to have to get one, and I was like, Nick has to get his first COVID test. Oh, I was like, did I mess that up again? Jess would roast me. She roasts me in her videos, but she does it more than I do with putting the stickers on the wrong side and picking wrong colors and stuff. So don't come at me. Jess, kitten is Jess. It's all in fun. But I was like, oh, Nick's going to have to get a COVID test, like, blah, blah, blah. Because, like, basically, if you're COVID positive, they treat you differently, like, as far as, like, precautions is another thing. And then also, you're not allowed to leave the hospital room. So I was COVID negative, obviously, and they said that Nick didn't have to get one because they assume if he's with me that if I was positive, he'd be positive, which is kind of weird, but I mean, whatever. But I was like so annoyed because I was like so ready for him to have to get his first COVID test, but he didn't. And also, even if he would have, this is my first COVID test where it was like they basically, like, I have picked my nose further out my nose than they put this thing in my nose. It was like basically like touching the outside of my nose. Like it was barely like, it was like the light one. I've only ever had the like deep in your brain ones, which is fine. But this one was so light. I was like, even if you would have had to get a COVID test, it wouldn't have been the OG like in your brain one. But anyways, I was negative. And then I cuddled Bennett and was in like a lot of like pain-ish. Like I said, it wasn't like, it was just kind of weird, I think, all day. And then once my water broke, it was like, it was there. But it was like a light pain, kind of irritating, kind of out of breath, confused situation all day. So I just like hung out with Bennett in bed mostly all day, and like Theo too, we just like chilled and did nothing. And then for dinner, like I said, I had Zoe's, and then my water broke and Nick's parents came and we went to the hospital. And I swear we hit like every red light along the way at freaking 12:30 at night or whatever it was. And I was like, are you actually kidding me? There's no one on these streets and we're hitting every red light, but we got there. It was all good. So then basically was up all night with contractions. I got an epidural as soon as they allowed me to. I personally whenever it was with Theo, I was like, I'm going to wait to get the epidural because I've heard that like makes you not progress. But whenever I got my epidural with Theo, I went from like a 3 to a 10 in like an hour and a half. So I don't believe that. And same thing with Lila. I went from a 3 to a 10 in like just a couple of hours. So I'm not going to put myself through more pain than I personally planned to. Like I was going to get an epidural any which way. So I was like, as soon as I'm allowed to get it, basically I needed to make sure, because I was groupie strep for all of them, that I got enough antibiotics prior. But yeah, it was a good time. And once I got the epidural, I was like, I was ready to rock, just chill, do whatever. But with Bennett, I couldn't feel anything with epidural, but both with Theo and Lila, I could feel like a little bit. I could mostly just feel when the contractions were coming, but they weren't painful, which is definitely a preference because I think it's easier to push and to like, you feel enough. So that was like the same for both of them. And I definitely preferred that than being full blown, fully can't feel anything. Well, like I was with Bennett, when I think that was really hard to push that way and to feel when the contractions were coming. So then Lila was born on Saturday morning, and I got French toast for breakfast, which I have talked about how I love hospital French toast. I did get it twice, and I'm not mad about it. Then I just put in Lila Cuddles, because basically that's what we did all day long. And then for dinner, we did get Jack Allen, and I got this pasta. I've never gotten it before. Basically, I've been really butthurt about Jack Allen because they got rid of my favorite meal there, which was the Sloppy Jack, which is basically like a elevated Sloppy Joe. So I need like a new thing. Their soups are amazing. So I usually get like a soup and their side salad because their ranch is really good. But I decided to get the pasta. It's like a spicy chicken pasta and amazing. Honestly, like nothing on that menu is like, you can't go wrong. So we got Jack Allen, and then we watched 90 Day Single Life because I think that premiered that night. So we watched that in the hospital. Then on Sunday, it was Nick's 30th birthday, so I wanted to put that in kind of bigger and in a foiled box because it's his 30th birthday, which is wild. And every time I say that I'm married to a 30-year-old, I'm just like, because Nick and I started dating whenever I was 14 and he was 15. So dating a 30-year-old, not dating, married to a 30-year-old just sounds wild. I'm going to be 30 in April though, so I'm not like, I can't really talk. But also like Bree's doing the same thing to me where she's like, you're going to be 30 in April. And I'm like, you're going to be 30 in August. But 30 is just like, it's a lot. So I wanted to put it in a gold box. And then we got Potbelly's for lunch, which is like a sandwich place. And then we got to go home, which was really, really awesome. Ish, because we were back in the hospital then next week. But we got to go home and see the boys. I really, really miss them. And it's crazy because I knew it was going to happen. It was probably I knew it was my least favorite part. And my most emotional part of my pregnancy was knowing that Theo was still a baby and that I was having another baby. Because whenever Theo was born, Bennett wasn't a baby anymore. He was a toddler. Like, I feel like Theo was still a baby. And I knew, like, I would get emotional. He was just so little. And then whenever you come home after holding a baby for 24 hours, he's so big. Like, he's chonking. And now he's my big baby. But I just, like, it gets me, like, really emotional because, like, I obviously love all my kids. But I love Theo. He's like my baby. And I just knew the whole pregnancy, I'm like, I know as soon as I come home, he's not going to feel as little anymore. And that is so sad. But now he's just my big baby. And then I have my little baby, my big baby, and my big boy. So enough with that. I don't want to talk about it anymore. So the boys met Lila then, which was super cute. And then I just put going through emotions, mostly because of Theo not being a baby anymore or not feeling like a baby. Though he is still my baby. He's always going to be my baby boy. And then we watched Before the 90 Day at night. And that is all. But yeah. I also used a ton of coat boxes. I was like feeling my Kirsten energy out and just was like sticking them all on. But I just love them. They're so cute. And they haven't come out yet, but they're going to come out soon. So that is everything for this spread. I'm sorry it was like kind of longer, but yeah. I think it turned out really, really pretty. Definitely really random in the middle of Christmas. And I already have her first birthday theme planned out. And Theo's actually custom art's going to be coming out soon too, which is going to be so cute. But yeah, I'm really excited. And Bennett has like ideas, but he just keeps changing his mind. So we will see about that. But that's everything. I hope y'all liked it. And I will talk to y'all in my next video. Bye.